So, Matt, first of all, Matt, I just want to say thank you for coming on here. I know a bit about your story, and I think it is nothing short of inspiring. And I feel like this podcast is going to help many people out there. And it's what we want to try and achieve and reduce the stigma around men and their mental health. What do I need to understand about you growing up, childhood education, to really understand the person that is sat in front of me now?
Me growing up, obviously I was born with two legs. Obviously 19 years of them, I was walking with two legs. Obviously through school, I didn't really get through school. I was in military preparation college because I had ADHD, I was a class clown, this, that and the other. So I got kicked out of there, obviously went to military college, enjoyed it, went to apply for military, no go. So obviously I had ADHD, I had to be off my med and stuff. So obviously I changed, I went to become a chef in college. Enjoyed it, good stuff, too many hours though. So I quit that, and then in 2017, obviously I was on my way to work as a dry liner. And I crashed, and then obviously a couple of days before Christmas, I woke up with no leg.
Talk to me about that. So you've had the accident. Is it like a blur from that moment to waking up?
The accident. All I remember is crashing and saying, "Fuck's sake, it's Christmas." And I woke up on the side of the road and my leg was just flapping. That's what I remember. Then the day I had about an hour after, I just see a white light, and the next thing I woke up with no leg. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's just like all echoing, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a bit like everything was black, but I could hear everything was going on, but I couldn't see nothing. All I see was just a tunnel of light.
What was your initial mindset when you had woke up and had been amputated?
I was confused, very confused. I didn't really get it at first. Like I had obviously my sister at the bedside saying all this, that and the other. I didn't really get it at first because obviously I was on so many drugs, and obviously when you're a bit spaced out and all these meds, you don't really get it, do you? So obviously I was like, being a class clown I was when I had two legs, I put that into the amputation and kind of put a bit of a front on, like most men do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was you feeling confused, angry?
Because I was very confused. I was very angry at myself, but I started questioning: should I have done this? Should I have done that? Because obviously the day of my crash, obviously I was homeless before my crash. So obviously I was sleeping under my mum's stairs. She let me back under her stairs like Harry Potter. So obviously the day of my crash, obviously I was meant to be moving into a flat on my own. So I had deposit all worked up and that, and obviously my boss was like, "Oh no, take it down for work, man." I was like, "No, can I do half day after money? Obviously a bit extra Christmas time, a bit of money." So I was going to Thailand actually. I got back from Thailand, so I wanted to get a bit of money, and obviously I've went for half day and didn't even make it. So
it is that what if of what if I didn't take
that
the day?
Fag, because it's like 6:55. I was rushing. Obviously I got on my motorbike, blitzed to the shop, bought a patch of baccy. I could have just put that in my, I would have been 5 minutes before, but you can't think of all that because it fucked me up. No. It did screw me over.
After you'd sort of come round and you had that realisation of, this is like life now, we got to adapt to it. That first stage of coming out, having to adapt, how did you find? Did you?
For the first 6 months, obviously, you didn't have a prosthetic leg because obviously you've got to recover, your scar's got to heal down, you've got to adapt, you've got to have like occupational therapists at home and stuff. And obviously, I couldn't get discharged from hospital. Obviously, at the time, because obviously I was homeless. So obviously, they said, "Oh, you got to stay in here, recover. It take about 5-6 weeks." I was like, "No, I ain't doing that." So I can't go. I've got one leg. I can't go live under my mum's stairs again, can I? Yeah. So obviously my ex-missus family touched me down at a bungalow in Clanfield at the time. Obviously they adapted the house for me and that. Obviously let me stay there. It was a bit awkward at the time because obviously my ex-missus and that, but didn't really see much of each other. And then just all went from there. And then just after getting like all the appointments and stuff, St. Click like I want to go on holiday with my mate. And obviously just got a bit here and there. And obviously I went on holiday and I realised life's too short. So I moved out of obviously me and my ex-missus we weren't great or whatever. We had arguments and stuff, but obviously when I moved out of there, I went to a shared house, and that's where it all went a bit tits up because I didn't have the great family support. Obviously, the support at the time, obviously, my crash, I had the ex-families, missus and stuff. Obviously, my family wasn't great. So, I went into a shared house and it's 3 stories up. As you can imagine, in a wheelchair, 3 stories up, and I hop up the stairs, and obviously, I went, started drinking and that, and it got better from there. Sort of didn't get better, got worse, but got better for me, sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Would you say that not having that family support, what was your friendship circle like? Did you have that network of? Did you have like a pillar of support that you could rely on, or was it like the ex?
Didn't really have much friends at the time either because I was just see most of my teenage years I sat in the shed smoking weed. Obviously, being a weed smoker, I'm unsociable. Obviously, I just had a group of mates that smoked the weed.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in hospital, obviously that's my getaway. That's my break away from the weed. So obviously, I recovered. Obviously, not only losing my leg, I was clucking the joint as well.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, you know what I mean? So at the time, I'm trying to put everything out the back of my brain, thinking about this joint. But when I got out, I was like, I'm not even going to smoke it again. And obviously, you not smoking that substance. Obviously, where's my friends?
Yeah.
They're not coming around for a joint or a bong no more. So
it was just...
It's just me.
You and your mind.
Me and my mind, yeah. Just relapsing, blah, blah, blah.
So when you was in that shared house, I can imagine that you're saying you've got the stress of having to go up 3 stories daily, being in your own mind. So the bad habits that sort of follow. What was that experience like? Was it a coping mechanism, or was it to switch off from that sort of mindset of struggling, would you say?
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, and it was a part of socialism as well. So obviously I'd go to the pub, started with a pint, and obviously you have a pint, you get a bit jokey, don't you? So obviously the leg went a bit numb after I had a key. And that's how I started going downhill. My brain started, like, as soon as I'd done the first key of gear, obviously cocaine, my leg grew back, sort of thing. Everything went numb. My thoughts went numb, my leg went numb. God, amazing, mate, like, Jesus. But little did I know, 6 months later, it would come back on me 10 times as hard. It's just a mask. Obviously, sniffing and drinking your problems away, it works, it does, don't get me wrong. I'd do it every day if I could, but it doesn't long term. So you feel stressed, you have a drink, you de-stress, you wake up the next morning, you've got twice the amount of stress because you're not only hanging, but you still got the stress because that drink didn't get rid of it. It just masked it, like, you know what I mean? So,
and I think that's something that a lot of people will relate with as well. Like, I know a few people that are suffering, they use the drink as a coping mechanism to... It's more of
a break, innit? It's more of a get rid of everything kind of thing, just settle your nerves, because when you're a bit down, you don't know what to do you?
Yeah.
You're in a spiral.
They wake up hungover, or they wake up and they come down, and so you're saying it comes back tenfold. And I think it's finding that breakthrough of not using that as your routine to suppress the emotions.
Yeah, and well, I highly believe you are what you become as well. Like, you are what you surround yourself with as well. So obviously when I was in the pub drinking, I had a lot of pub friends. Yeah. So obviously that's what I ended up becoming. But if I thought to myself when I was in a better situation with the family support, the friends and stuff, I could have thought to myself, I'm an amputee now. Let's join the amputee groups. Let's do this, do that, do this. But like the first year or two in my recovery on my amputation is I was kitted out my head, geared out my head, pissed. So all these appointments, all these like this, that, and the other, I didn't really take knowledge of because I turned up to my appointments do laddie. So how to look after your stump, didn't take it in. How to look after this, didn't take it in. How to walk like this, didn't take it in. Didn't really take much in.
What was the outcome with the bad habits then? So what was that point of, I have to look at myself and go, I've got to fucking step up here and do something for myself now? Because it was sort of you against the world in the sense of you didn't have enough support.
I did feel like the world went against me.
It was either go downhill to the point where you wouldn't be alive, or it was pull yourself together, have that conversation with yourself and be honest and say, we don't like this person that we're becoming. We've got to do something now to try and become a version of ourselves that we like. So what happened? What got you to the point where the only way was up? What was your rock bottom moment?
Farlington strawberry fields. I hit rock bottom. Like, I honestly hit rock bottom. And it got to the point where I was going to kill myself, and I reached out to about 3:45 in the morning. I reached out to my mum, tried talking to her, and no one answered. Obviously they got me to sleep. Yeah. My ex boss Steve Duffin, quality geezer mate, saved my life. Honestly did.
So what?
Basically, he got hold of me. I tried ringing him. He got hold of me literally 2 minutes after I called, and I was rock bottom, mate. Like, I was 2 weeks no sleep in my pajamas in the middle of nowhere, like honestly out of my head. And obviously, Steve knew me when I had 2 legs. He knew what he thought I was a good geezer. Yeah. Like, he's had a lot of time for me. And obviously, I rang him out. He thought something's not right here. Literally, it took him 10 minutes to get across, mate. He lives in town. Like, it took him 10 minutes, 4 in the morning, come down, got me in his van, locked me in, mate. I was going fucking ballistic. I was scattered out anything. He took me to St James's at the time. St James's obviously closed down. He took me to QA. I was hearing voices, mate. But it got to the point I was gone. Everyone was like, little mate Ed was, see you later, mate. Like, I was a goner. And yeah, he took me to obviously QA. Obviously, I had my assessment straight away. Didn't even think twice, mate. I was eating bumblebees. I was literally following something that wasn't even there. And yeah, I got section drug-induced psychosis, mental health act 2.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, when I went to rehab, done all the AA meetings, obviously at the time I thought, yeah, this is me now, look, I'm a goner now. Obviously I had to have all these meds and stuff to keep me straight and narrow, because obviously the drugs I took, obviously I was going a bit scatty obviously at the time. They gave me my own room, my own doctor. He was a good lad. 2.5 weeks I spent in rehab, done the AAs, followed them all. Now I didn't really find it too helpful, but I did it. Like, I did in some ways, but not in the others, because I'm not the type of geezer to go to a group of 20 people and talk about my problems. I'd rather sit in my bathroom and talk to myself, because I am the only person that's going to listen, and I'm the person that's going to come back. Yeah. If I take,
I'll get what you're saying. I can't pick you up and say you're going to do this.
You can't pick me up and be like, right, mate, hang on a minute. I've lost my leg here. I've done it this way, so I didn't have that. And every time I did try and reach out to another amputee, they either had diabetes as over 60. Obviously, that's natural. Or they've been in the military. They've been brought up in a military background, so they're firm. They're firm geezers. So they don't really look at a 19-year-old lad with no family, nothing going for him. He's just lost his leg as well as everything else. Like, no one really, I wouldn't say helped me, but they didn't give me what I was seeking. So obviously I'd go to someone and be like, how did you do it? They done it differently, but I didn't have a choice. I was working 19 years of my life, boom, 1 minute I woke up no leg. It didn't have to just improvise, it was everything to do with the thing. Everything to do with the situation kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Did you learn a lot? Like, would you say that you learned a lot about yourself when you were sectioned?
I learned loads about myself when I was sectioned. Like, I see people, like, I went to, I was actually privileged. I didn't go to Elmley or any NHS funded. I didn't even have to pay for this. I went to Woking Priory Hospital. It's actually where, is it Antle Deck? It's where he actually went. So he had actually a signature board, so I went there. People were paying £10 a week to stay there, mate. And obviously I got it funded for free, because obviously the government, obviously the NHS see I was a goner. They give me that chance I needed, because I was a little lad, didn't ever sniff drugs, didn't do drugs, just weed. I lost my leg, went a bit scatty. So they give me that chance, and I wouldn't know, obviously no place in Elmley for me at the time. So I went private, and that's what helped me.
It sounds like that was probably the first moment of almost like security, of feeling appreciated. Like you say, where you've sort of been on your own leading up to this, and then to have that situation of being able to have a privilege or something, and to feel privileged by something. So you've had that light bulb moment of, you know what, someone actually cares enough to give me this opportunity, so I'm just going to take it with both hands.
Do you know what give me that spark in rehab? When I was in there, I was around the AA tables and stuff, and I was having nice dinners and stuff, don't get me wrong. But I sat there, and obviously there's a woman. She was an older lady. I've got a lot of time for older people, but there's a woman, she thought she was a witch. She had something wrong with her where her brain was just not immobilised like a normal brain, so she thought people were going against all the time, she couldn't help it. There's another woman in a 90, 24 hours a day, she was walking around the field in laps, just doing that, laps and laps, a bit like the Grudge. And that's what sparked my brain thinking, mate, grow up. Like, grow up. You've lost a leg, not your life. Like, this is a second chance to sort yourself out now, mate. Like, there's people in here that can't actually help not to be in it. But I was just in that vicious circle. I just needed to get away from it. And rehab got me away from that circle. So me being sober from the drug, that's what picked me. Like, appreciate your life now, mate. There's people that actually can't, like, they're at their wit's end. They're actually spending the rest of their life in rehab. But I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I discharged myself 2.5 weeks in.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I love that. What?
There's always someone worse off. That's what I've realised in life, because I'm walking down, limping down the road thinking, God, my leg hurts. And then I'd walk to the shop and be like, he's got no legs and he's in a wheelchair. And he's 70 odd. Come on, mate. I'm 25, let's live life now.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for that. What was the moment like where you was discharged? How did that come about?
It come about because basically, coming up to the second week, I participated in all the AA meetings. I was showing involvement and stuff around the rehab. I was trying a bit more fit. I'm quite a caring geezer. So obviously, before I'd make myself a coffee, I'd always make these older people a coffee in the rehab. Like, that's my little part of the day. Like, when I'm feeling low, I'd help another man. Yeah. I'd post a Christmas card and make me feel better or something. Yeah. So I'd help this lady carry a coffee or a tray of something. Yeah. So I'd put a sugar in her coffee. That's my good deed done for the day. So little things like that just brought me into the thing. Think, I feel a bit better now. All these thoughts started to like equalise themselves. So I started waking up. I had a better routine in rehab. So I was waking up in the morning. I didn't have much to do. They took my phone off me and stuff. So obviously, get in the bath, wash my stump, self-care, yeah? After I'd done that, I felt a bit better myself. Obviously, when you're on drugs and that, you don't wash it up, do you? I'm not going to lie. It's 2 weeks, no bath, in pyjamas, mate. I was greasy as anything. But I had a bath, self-routine here. I sat there and just thought, I could get used to this. I could honestly get used to this. And then I went to get out of the bath and I slipped out and I was thinking, no, I can't, fuck this. So I knew the thoughts were still there.
Yeah.
So then I said to the doctor, right, can I look, obviously, is there only, because I was seeing people getting released, because obviously there's a multi-millionaire there, yeah, and he bought a Ferrari. He was geared out his head, he went on a fucking weak bender, mate, absolutely loving life, he said, crashed his Ferrari, and so, like, boom, that was the end of him. And I said, when he took a step back and realised I've got all this money, there's unfortunate people that have no money.
Yeah.
But people like that, you know what I mean? So I took my thing, so I said to the doctor, can I go out for the day? Like, can I do what they're doing? What makes me different? Because at first I wasn't even allowed a can of Coke, mate. Everyone else drinking cans or whatever, they was supervised with cans. I wasn't allowed nothing of that. Wasn't allowed near bread, knife, mate, nothing. Psychosis, isn't it? So I was a risk to the public. So obviously I was having little polystyrene cups and that, like, bit of a joke. So yeah, second weekend I asked if I can pop out for the day. They said, yeah, all right, mate, yeah, we'll give you, obviously, your charts are well, you can pop out. Went to the town centre and I had a bit of a recall. Obviously I was thinking, I ain't spent a bit of money in a while, and obviously my ADHD's ticking over, I was a bit excited. So I went to the shop and spent 300 quid on scratch cards, didn't I? Went back to rehab and about 16 people were like, no, I'll give them all £10 worth of scratch cards each, didn't I? That's impulsive behaviour, mate.
Yeah.
Like, so they've put me away in my room again. Like, I'm thinking, I was doing my good deed, but it's not, it's impulsive behaviour. Obviously, if you're in rehab, you're under all this surveillance, you know what I mean? So obviously, impulsive behaviour, you're getting a bit of a, what's going on here? So yeah, obviously, I had to stay in for another 4 days, and I went to the doctor. I said, no, mate, I feel a lot better. Like, honestly, I'm not a drug addict. Like, it's that and the other. I explained my story on my leg and stuff, and he gave me that chance. He's like, mate, honestly, I can see a better person than you. And he said to you, if you've done well, I'm not discharging you, but you can discharge yourself. Yeah. So he gave me the option. He would have liked to keep me in there for a week. I could have discharged myself. So I went, give me 24 hours. I'll sleep on things, yeah. So I went back the next morning. I was like, no, I'm gonna give it a shot. I believe in myself. That's all I ever needed. Yeah. So I signed myself away. Got a taxi home. Boom. Went back to a shared house. And then obviously 3 months after the thing, got my own flat. And then mental health kicked in a little bit.
Was it that?
It wasn't because of the drugs. And that. It's more of the loneliness there.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the family support. I've been in rehab. No one visited me in rehab. The only person visited me in rehab is George Hill. Yeah. What a lad. What a bloke.
What a bloke.
Yeah. He's the only geezer that comes to rehab. He bought me, this and that. And Roy and his missus actually drove out and bought me some colouring books and stuff. Obviously, they're the 3 people that actually turned up for me in rehab. That's one of the hardest times in my life because I lost my leg a year before. Yeah. Come on, I'm 19 years old, mate. Like, yeah, so I've got a lot of time for George. And yeah, where was I?
You was talking about you just got flat.
Oh yeah,
and you got mental health.
I was an occupational therapist and that. I was got a flat. 2019 January, I got out of rehab. I got a flat and that obviously because I was working with solicitors and stuff at the time. Because obviously it's partly my fault, not my fault. Yeah. Obviously the claim, obviously everything was that was on the brain as well. Like so. Yeah.
Almost that overthinking of different scenarios.
Everything at the same time. I've lost my leg. Lost my housing situation.
Just gone through rehab.
Just got a bit of money because obviously I've lost my leg. Like boom, I'm only a young kid. Like what do you do with all these solicitor appointments? I have to go here. Like I had to go to Bath. I had to get 3 trains to go to Bath on my own in a wheelchair. Like I wouldn't. Like, obviously there would have been people there to help me. Like don't get me wrong. If I asked George or something at the time, obviously. But I'm not a talker. I'm not going to be like, George, can you give me a lift, mate? Yeah. Like, I've never been like that. So I've tried to give me all that pressure. And when I moved into my flat, obviously I had the occupational therapist and that. It's going well, mate. I was in my own headspace and that. Obviously I had my flat. I got a cat. Called it Benzo. Got away from the benzocaine. Then I called it Benzo and that. Best 20 quid of my life. Kept me straight. He did. And then I was feeling better and that. And I flew to Thailand at the end June 2019. Obviously because I spent my 21st birthday on my moped on the Isle of Wight on my own. Bit sad, isn't it? Like it's a big birthday.
Was you happy?
But and then I went to Thailand, took myself, and then obviously just went a bit tits out. I went with a mate and he flew home, so I got left in Thailand. One leg, infected stump, crutches, 30 kg backpack, meant to be travelling for 3 weeks backpacking. You work that out on your own. So I'm in an Asian country, mate, my crutches went screw laddy because the bottom of them actually made of rubber. So the floor was too hot, they melted away, the metal started coming through. Went in, every time I went in there, slipped up, mate. Yeah, absolute nightmare. You go to anywhere in Thailand and try and get a bottom pair of crutches or even a pair of crutches that are metal, mate. It's all bamboo under the arm kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? And then the closest thing I got to this crutching was a tennis ball. Yeah, they give me a tennis ball and they say take it around. Oh, improvising, I've done a lot of that in my time, but I can't do that. So in the end, obviously I run out of money, my bank card got stolen by a ladyboy, this, that and the other. Absolute nightmare, mate. My mate flew home, he had enough of it, I was thinking, my flight ain't booked for another 2 weeks. So yeah, you can imagine having one leg, my mental health, this, that and the other, trying to recover this fucking rehab thing, I think. Go to Thailand, in the middle of nowhere on my own. I joined a Muay Thai camp. Best thing of my life, mate. Enjoyed it, every second of it. They was feeding me, they was putting me up, mate, for free and everything. They had no money. And that is the faith in humanity I had back. That's what made me think this is a good life.
So was that change? Would you say that's the changing point for you?
I learned a lot in Thailand. I've been to Thailand a few times. Yeah, one before I lost my leg.
Yeah,
wasn't as good. One after I lost my leg, it was good. But the time I went after my leg, I learned a lot about myself and other people.
So did you come back a different person?
I'll come back a completely different person, mate.
And is that where sort of, because I always say, I truly believe that we all have two lives.
Yeah.
And our second one begins when we realise we've only got one.
Yeah, I believe that.
And that is exactly what has happened to you, I think. And so when you come, so talk to me when you come back. So you've gone through some experiences. So 2018 was the rehab.
2018 was the rehab.
And then 2019 you began boxing.
Yeah,
talk to me about that.
Flat Thailand boxing, December 2019. Obviously, George was obviously after Thailand. I did get I was on my own. Obviously, my effects done. So I went a bit down there. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I've got PTSD. I struggle. Yeah, I've just obviously this month it's been quite hard for me. I'm back on the pre-gabs, Citrulli, and you name it. I'm back on it. Yeah, because I'm done 100 miles per hour. I'll relive my crash every year. Some years are better, some years are shit. Yeah, but I'll snap. Obviously, that's what PTSD is. Yeah, people don't get it. They just think he's lost his leg. He's been through what he's been through. He's fucking boxing. Fair play to the geezer. Like,
that don't mean that you.
It don't mean I'm. My missus, yeah, she sees every day of me. So she sees me taking my leg off, sorting my leg out, cleaning my leg. The amount of shit I've got to do just to go to the toilet halfway through the night, mate. Just think, I'm 25 now. Yeah, 50 years time, I'm going to be vulnerable, when my knees disintegrating, my bones getting weaker. Yeah, so this is why everyone's like, mate, you need to slow down. You got one leg. But in my head, I'm thinking, I've got one leg. I need to speed up because I've got kids. I'm going to enjoy my life whilst I can.
You're trying to make the most of it. I'm trying to make
the most of it, mate. Because I've had so many years sat there thinking, why did I waste them years? Why did I waste that money doing what I did?
But if that didn't happen, it wouldn't have shaped you into the person you are now.
And that's where boxing came into it. Obviously, George picked me up while he's coming around my flat and that. Obviously, 2019, Christmas time. Yeah, he knows about my PTSD and stuff. A shit time of year for me. He picked me up. I spent Christmas obviously around George's mum's. Lovely, mate. We'll slip round there. I felt part of something, you know what I mean? A part of that family. I'm a family boy.
Yeah, and to have that family.
Yeah, and to have that family connection, that felt amazing, mate. Yeah, because I'm one of 9 kids. Like I've had upbringing great because I'm one of 9. Like attention wasn't there. Yeah. So yeah, I was spending that thing, and then George said, "Why don't you go down to the boxing gym, mate?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other." And then he introduced me to Trina Driscoll, and obviously our son Sonny at the time was boxing for Heart of Portsmouth. So yeah, December 2019, he took me down to the gym. Mate, put that glove on, whack that bag, boom. I love it. It instantly got rid of my thoughts, my feelings, everything, mate, yeah. I've been on so many meds, mate, yeah, but that boxing
is your medication.
Is my medication.
I love it. And the thing is as well, I think the good thing about the boxing and the punching bags, and George talks about it all the time, that it's also a way of channeling them feelings that you're not, like you're saying, like with the PTSD and like you snap and you might have them bad days, but the minute you're punching a bag,
my leg goes back.
Yeah, you feel like you're getting that sense of purpose, that sense of life and fulfillment back. When you were starting the box, when did because it seemed like that was that. So you've had the Thailand experience, and like you say, that was sort of like that re-energised you, and you come back. Then you've gone into the boxing gym, you've punched a bag, and you've got that sense of this is what I love. Was it just upwards from there? Was that sort of signal for you to go, right, we fucking found this place that is like my home, and now I'm here, and now I'm just gonna.
Well, yeah. At the time, finding the box gym, obviously Q Shinford, obviously he done a lot for me at the time. He gave me a coaching course funded by him. He gave me a pad course funded by him. He kept me out the flat. Like fair play to the geezer, yeah. And it did keep me out the flat. Obviously, it got to the point where Heart of Portsmouth become my second home. I'd rather spend more time in the gym than at my flat.
Yeah, I went to school at Charter Academy, and obviously it's just on the back of it. Yeah, yeah, I know, Q. I know you're on about. So from there, so you met your missus.
Yeah, from there, well, yeah, in 2020 I met my missus just before lockdown. Actually, I actually met her through the gym. I was going to the gym with George. And then obviously I kept seeing her in and out, and then I was like, I'm going to give her a little message, you know what I mean? But previously to this is actually crazy. Yeah? When I first lost my leg, Yeah, one of my mates invited me to his engagement party. Obviously, I was a drunk, so I was thinking, yeah, every party's a party, you know what I mean? I went to that party and I actually met my missus. I didn't know her, but we've got a photo together when I first lost my leg. Yeah. And then all this crap behind it, and down the line, when I'm back and narrow, we've met. She split up with her baby's dad, this, that, and the other. Like, all in these space of 4 or 5 years, I've been in Doolally. It's kind of like fate, isn't it? Yeah. It's like fate. So yeah.
When did you ever feel like at the moment when you had lost your leg that you would be looked at as different? So, like, did you ever have them moments of like, oh, I would never find love, I would never have that friendship circle?
Obviously, at the time, before I lost my leg, I was in a 4 or 5 year relationship. So that's when I had 2 legs. Yeah, so obviously, I've got confidence now. Obviously, I've had girlfriends, this, that, and the other. But when I lost my leg, I couldn't even I just lost the love for myself. You know what I mean? Like they try and tell you. Basically, the thing is, the hardest thing is losing your leg. It's not only physical, it's mental. Yeah, and mental is a very scary place if you don't know how to control your thoughts. So they teach you. You've got to look in the mirror. Yeah, you sit in your wheelchair, look in the mirror. You move the existing leg. Yeah. And your brain trying to because obviously I've still got all my nerves. Subconscious. Subconscious brain. Yeah. So you've got to try and tell your brain. You've got to try and figure all this out because I've been used to walking. So now I've got to get used to jumping out of bed with no leg.
And it's that frustration.
So it's the frustration of thinking I'm looking in the mirror trying to get used to these no leg missing or whatever. I'm trying to get used. I'm looking at myself and thinking, what a fucking ugly bloke. Like, you've lost your leg, mate. Like who the because when you put your leg on, obviously don't get me wrong, don't breathe on that. It stinks. Like it's vinegary, this, that, and the other. So it started all these thoughts thinking, who's gonna love me now? This, that, and the other. Then obviously when I went to the gym with George, it makes you feel a bit good about yourself going to the gym, didn't it? So you're on the leg press and that, this, that, and the other. I was thinking, I'm a bit buff, going swimming and that. You know what I mean? And obviously that's how I got the confidence to message my missus. Yeah.
Because it seems like when I was sort of looking, just trying to give myself some knowledge, seemed like from that point of when you found boxing that it was that just seemed to be more positives than negative, and you can really see that difference of your teenage years and now sort of you're doing all these amazing things. So you're with your missus, and then you fall in love with boxing a bit more and have your first boxing match. Talk to me about how did that come about? What made you go, I'm gonna have a boxing match? How did that come about?
Basically, obviously, the sports side of things, it distracts your brain, like you said, yeah. So obviously, I didn't ever think I'd get in the ring, because obviously when I first got used to my prosthetic and that, obviously I've tried a lot of legs, I've had about 8 different legs. I ended up going private in the end, obviously, to get something that suited me, because I am young. But like my missus says, yeah, before boxing, yeah, obviously, my missus met me in 2020, so I started boxing the end of 2019, yeah? So I met my missus January, February 2020. Then lockdown come about. Yeah, so I was doing all this, that. So my missus see me struggling, walking, limping, this, that, and the other. Yeah, but ever since I started taking boxing seriously after I found the love for it, she started kind of saying, your walking's a lot better. You're not having a limp no more. Like this is better. This is better. This is doing this. This is that. Like you're not 100 miles per hour.
And you wouldn't have realised that, and because someone's seeing it,
because she sees me every day, she's thinking, boxing's actually helping you, not only your mental health but your physical health as well. Yeah. Because I used to be like, put trousers on, I used to limp down the road. Like, I never used to really leave my flat because I was a limper or this, that, and the other. So that's partly why I used to sit in there and all behind 4 walls. Yeah. But then my missus, she picked me up, took me to the gym. She got me a bit out there, you know what I mean? I felt good on crutches. I
think it always helps when you've got a good woman behind you.
Yeah, that's part of every man is a good woman behind him.
And I took an overdose during lockdown. And my missus, at the time, we was just friends. And she used to come and force me to go out for walks. And we was like friends, and then like we was together. Like we're together now. And that was back in May 2020. And it's like you say, shit. Like my missus keeps me driven. And I have bad days.
She's safe home to go home to.
Yeah, and I have bad days still, and like we've got things going on at the minute where, like my auntie, she's going through bowel cancer at the minute. She's on her 6th round, and it's just tough. But it's because it's a situation I don't have control over.
Yeah.
And I have tough days, and some days I'm crying, and some days I'm just sort of shutting it off. But I'm able to cope with it better than what I did, and. Like my missus is my safe place where I can be my vulnerable self because it's just that it's your person.
Yeah,
if that
it's
makes
your
sense.
person. It's half of you, isn't it? Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what you've got. And I think it is something that's precious. And
yeah, it's very, very precious.
And sometimes we take it for granted when we're being a bit of a fucking
snappy
dick.
and a bit angry. I'll get that.
Yeah, it's alright. So yeah,
you do have to appreciate them, don't you?
Yeah.
And I don't feel that sometimes we don't, because like they say, when my mum comes round, you're all happy and Larry. Yeah. But it is a front, isn't it? You've got to put up a front when you see new people. Obviously, your partner's living with you full time. They see the bad, the goods, and everything in between. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you are right, mate. Yeah, they are half of what you become.
So when was the first boxing match?
The first boxing match, I believe it was June 21.
And what was it like?
June 21 or 22.
And what was that like? So you fought a bloke that had two legs.
First boxing match was an amputee.
Okay, yeah.
He's an ex-parachute regiment. Obviously lost it in the army. 12 to 14 years he's been on his legs, so he's a good amputee. Very muscly, fit, love boxing, mate, same as me. Yeah, it's my first thing. And then I got in the ring with him. Everyone was like, oh, mate, he's massive, you know what I mean? I was a bit worried, mate, my anxiety, but I needed to get over that. The first boxing match was purely for my anxiety. Because obviously I'm a little lad who've lost his leg and that, I can't be in big crowds. So I thought, no, let's do it. Where he is an amputee, it helped, do you know what I mean?
It was like another boundary for you to overcome.
It was like a stepping stone. And where he's an amputee, it kind of took the heat off me being an amputee. So where we've got two amputees, it was a big thing for everyone. And then, the first round, first 32 seconds, I knocked him out, mate. He was out cold.
Yeah.
He was out cold, literally gone. So after that, everyone was like, mate, you've got some power, this, that and the other. There's all saying this, that and the other. Everyone thought, he's got a ankle that moves, his power comes from this, that and the other. So then obviously my coach, Billy Bessie, went to get me matched with another opponent. And obviously there ain't no other amputees as big as Mike Lewis. Like, he was boxing 14 years on his prosthetic leg, mate. He's a good boxer for all being an amputee. Yeah. So my boxing coach struggled getting me another amputee to match me against. He's like, I'm going to put you in the deep waters now, mate. I'm going to put you against an able-bodied bloke. Same again, second round TKO. All right.
What was it like, that build out of that for you? Did you have any sense of...
I had nerves because he had the two limbs, so I thought in my head, obviously, I'm a little lad thinking, you got one leg down, mate, you're not as good as everyone else, you know what I mean? But in my head, I thought, he's got two legs, he's going to be able to move better, he's going to be able to do this better, he's going to be able to do that, do this, do that, mate. That killed me. It killed me inside.
You beat yourself.
It's nervous adrenaline as well, isn't it? So before I even had that fight, I've already used half my nerves because everyone was like, "Yeah, mate, he's whiz up and down the stairs, using all my energy and the nervous energy as well." So I got in there and I was like, "Oh, mate, I feel rough." But then I just went there's something that pulls through my heart every time. When I get punched, there's just something that brings through me like, "Mate, this ain't nothing. I've been through shit. I've danced with the devil. At least and I love it. It might sound weird, but I love it. There's nothing better to me than being punched. Honestly, I love it. Yeah. And punching, obviously. but I prefer being punched.
So and to bring that to the now. So you've previously just had a fight, but prior to that you were seven fights, 7 wins.
Yeah.
And you just drew this one, so you're still unbeaten.
Still unbeaten.
And so what's next for you? Talk to me about what. So do you have that sense of ambition? Do you have a goal? Do you have something that you want to reach, or is it just?
I do, mate. Yeah, and ever since I started boxing, I've told myself all these negative thoughts now put into positive thoughts. So some people might think I'm crazy, but there's another way I'm controlling it now. So people think, he's not doing this, and I'm going to say I'm going to do it better than you. So if you're going to tell me I can't do something, I'm going to make sure I do it twice, and I'm going to take a picture. Yeah. Because that's what I've changed my mindset now, because I used to sit there thinking, I can't do it, I've got one leg. Come on, mate, man up now. It's not in the sense of man up, it's you need to do it differently now. Yeah. So I've followed all these amputees and stuff and seen the journeys, and most of these amputees themselves who have been amputees for years told me I'm inspiring because how I've lost it, how I've been through this and been through that. So my story's not only losing my leg, it's everything upon that. Yeah. I'm only 25. So I've met 50-years-olds that don't even have half the life experience I have. So people find me inspiring. Yeah. And that's what made me have the kick in the arse, and that's why I do my rehab group now as well.
Well, I'm 24 and I'm a year younger.
You're 24?
I know I'm fucking receding.
You're 24?
I know I'm receding.
How'd you grow your beard?
Don't.
You're 24, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I'm roughly your age, and you said, and when you're talking about your experiences, it does. I sit here and I think, wow, is the word that comes to my mind as well, because I think I've got the utmost respect for you in terms of what you've been through and the place you've got yourself to now, where you're able to sit here and talk about your story which is in turn going to help someone that's struggling. And it might not even be someone that's lost their leg. It might just be someone that needs that little bit of motivation to go and get something that they want, and they feel that they can't achieve it. And I think what you're doing there is different class, and I think you should be proud of yourself. And I want to say I'm proud of you for being here and doing what you're doing. And I want to ask, what would you say to someone who is sat there struggling, who might be struggling with drugs and using it as that suppression to minimise that feeling and create that numbness so they don't have to feel the pain they're going through? What would you say to them? Because obviously you've gone through one hell of a journey with it, through rehab and stuff. What would you say? If you could look back at that, Matt, back then, before the rehab, and what would your advice be to them now from what you've learned?
Life's a lot better sober. That's just one main thing I've always said. And there is two things I am scared of, and I can honestly say they're pretty scared of it as well, and that's ghosts and thoughts, because two things one man can't fight back. Yeah? Tell me I'm wrong. So get out of them feelings, get out of them thoughts. There's one thing of advice I can give you. As hard as it seems, get away from it. It's fake. It's a devil, mate. It's a devil in the head that ain't there. Like, honestly, it's not there. So yeah, life's a lot better sober. It's hard getting sober, but it is a lot better sober.
And I've said this before in one of the other episodes we've done. So I've done, and Jack can back me up. Jack's the man behind the camera. But when we had met the other week, and I can't remember the date, 18th, wherever it was, and I turned around to you and said, remember this date. And because previously I'd done 6 months sober, I'd done the 6-week base camp challenge, and then ended up going 6 months sober, and then fell in the trap of fear of missing out. It was coming up to my birthday, and I thought I couldn't do my birthday sober, blah, blah, blah. And then I turned around to Jack, however many weeks ago it's been, and I said, right, remember this date, I'm going to sit here and stand in front of you and go, I'm going to take you on my journey of being sober. And that was it. 24, drew the line. I thought, good man. I don't need to have a drink to become a better me. I need to find myself to become a better me. Yeah. And like now, I have more energy. It's little things. I have more energy in the mornings waking up. I'm able to do more things. Like I'll get on, I'll go to the Fusion gym, down Gospel, and I goes in there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then by 8:30, I've achieved 5-6 things. That,
you feel good about yourself, don't you? Whereas
usually I wouldn't be waking up till 8:30, 9.
Yeah.
What was it? So like now, if you have a bad day now, what do you do? What do you do for yourself?
Go to the boxing gym, cuddle my missus, play with the kids. There's quite a lot of distractions in my life now for me to get away from the bad feelings. So that's partly to do with my, like, obviously don't get me wrong, if I was still alone I probably would have a lot of bad thoughts. I probably would sit there thinking I'm missing out, this, that and the other. Because don't get me wrong, my 21st birthday I felt like I was hardly missing out. Like, it's my 21st, like, I'm sober now. If I go to the pub on my 21st with all these fake mates, people are going to be like, oh, he's been rehab for nothing.
I think
so I had that kind of behind me as well, you know what I mean? So I had the thought of, I have to be a better person now, so I can't have a little drink. Because everyone think I'm that back man. So I had the feeling of, mate, this should be the best time of my life, so I should be drinking, going, I'll be for whatever people do. But I've been a rehab, so people think if I've got a beer in my hand, I'm done it for nothing. Yeah. Like, that's how I used to think.
And I think as well is that with the drink, it's the one thing you've got to explain why you're not doing it.
Yeah, it is.
So if we sat in a pub and there were 6 or 7 of us and we're all drinking, you're not drinking, I'll turn around and say, why aren't you drinking? Because that just seems to be the normality of...
Yeah, what's that you? Why are you not...
Surprised that people's got to ask why you ain't drinking. People wouldn't ask, if you had sat there and had a smaller portion of food than what I have, I wouldn't say to you, why ain't you got much food?
Yeah, it's
true.
What I mean?
I think you have to sort of switch off that what if mentality of what if I do have a drink, because it's a decision that we've made and it's a decision that we are using to become a better us and being the best version of ourselves. Like, my missus will thank me 6 months down the line when, after 6 months of being sober, just how much of a benefit it has, not just for me, but for my family.
Yeah.
So
they feel a lot better about themselves seeing you sober as well.
Because you're showing.
You coming home pissed at you at 11 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
Your missus probably thinking,
the amount of times I'd go out and say, I'll be back at one more beer, I'll be home. Yeah, fucking will, why not? You know what I mean? And
3 days later, you come home and you look, oh, I put a time on my missus now, 'cause she's the one putting up.
And then you can't do nothing the next day because you're hungover. Yeah. But in amongst all that, so you became a dad. Matt. What was that like?
Amazing, mate.
Was that something that after having your leg amputated, you thought, I couldn't have that?
I did think that, mate. Yeah, I did. Well, to be honest, I thought I didn't even give kids a thought. I didn't even give a relationship a thought, to be honest, because I was 4 or 5 years in a relationship. It didn't really work out. I had a lot of arguments. When I lost my leg, I thought to myself, I've been through all that, so life's too short to waste it with a woman, waste it away doing it when you're not happy, this, that and the other. And then obviously I met my missus and she had a kid already. Obviously my stepson Jersey, I'm coming into his life when he was 4. And obviously she was working through lockdown still. She was a carer at a carer's home. So obviously I had Jersey and obviously was going on all these adventures, mate. And he gave me a kind of purpose. Like he would come up to me, I'd have a bit of tape wrapped around my leg to keep the sleeve on. And then he'd come into me one morning, he'd have a bit of red tape stuck to his leg. And I thought, oh mate, like, come on, you know what I mean? That's cute, isn't it? Like, that's cute, isn't it? So yeah, I've always loved kids, mate. I've always had time for kids, you know what I mean? It's just one of them. And then when my own boy come along, it's a love I've never felt. You know what I mean? I looked at him and thought, mate, like I can't show him the struggles I have now, so I'll put my leg on like I'm a trooper, mate, and like, he brings my leg and I'm like, oh, I'll teach him, this gets a bit sore and stuff, so he understands that sort of thing, because in my opinion, there's not enough disability teaching classes or whatever in schools and stuff, so I've walked through, don't get me wrong, they're kids, but I've walked through schools and they're all like, it's something you've got to deal with as well. So when you're high peak anxiety all over the show, that's one reason you lock yourself away from the world as well. Because when I used to go out on crutches, I had a pint of milk in one hand, I had a bread in another, and a pack of crisps thing, for instance, I'd be crutching through Tesco's, As a man, I'd offer someone help. That's just who I am. But I've never really been offered help, mate. There's no one ever really been holding the door for me when I'm on crutches, when I've got a pint of milk here. Bread. Don't get me wrong, I could have been cold on humanity because they turned cold on me. That's how I felt. But then I've changed my bad thoughts and thought, hang on, if no one helps me, I've got to become that better person to help others. And that's how I've...
And it is, and sort of what you're saying there is pretty much sort of how the stigma's been around mental health as well.
It's a cold world, mate. We've been told to put a coach on and get over it. That's all. That's how I've been brought up. Have you?
Yeah.
I've been brought up in Leigh Park, mate. Everyone was meant to be a fake gangster. Like everyone's like, you know what I mean? Like, what's that here? Fall off your boat, get back on it. Yeah. But no, that's why it's a massive thing for men's mental health now, and it's good that people do things like what you're doing, because, like I said, I don't like talking to big groups, but I talk to you guys one-on-one. There's 2 of you here, so I feel at ease. So I'm at myself. So I'm talking to you now, and this podcast probably going to go to thousands of people to view. But obviously, I feel beneficial because thousands of people see it, and I'm anxious.
And I'm sure as people do watch this, and people that don't know you, I can almost guarantee that you'll receive a few messages from people that watch this that don't know you, and I guarantee that they will be just inspired as what me and Jack are sat here. And
it's God's purpose, mate.
Yeah, and I think you're fulfilling your purpose because you are inspirational, and I am glad that we've crossed paths, and I'm glad that you've been sat here, and I'm glad you've been vulnerable and honest to share your story, and sort of give me that insight of what it was like, and what you've done in turn has made me realise myself that, you know what, sometimes it isn't as tough as what it seems, and there is always someone worse off.
There's always someone worse off, mate.
And it gives you that whole different perspective on life. What I want to end this with is, if someone is sat here and don't know what the next step to take is, no matter what it is they're suffering with, if they're sat here and they're like, I'm fucking struggling, I don't know what to do, what is the one thing that they should do to give them what you've done in terms of finding that next life and that next purpose? What should the one thing they should do?
Have hope. That's one thing I wish I had more of at the time of losing my leg, because I never had hope. And if I sit there now and someone tells me what they're going through, I'd always say, have a bit more hope, mate. Like, why are you... Because when you are depressed, you just think of the bad things, So you're talking to someone and relating the bad things, but no one would ever say, but look what you done last year, mate. But look at you climbing this mountain, mate. So when you're in the down stage, you get people saying, I'm here for a chat, mate, come for a coffee. That's all right and well, don't get me wrong. But in my head, I'd rather say, oh, mate, you're down now, but look at 6 months ago. you was playing for United Minds at Hammond Waterville and stuff. So look at the little things you've done in life, because it's always the bad things that overcome that. You know what I mean?
And just look at the fact of, and I think it's what you saying that, and what you've achieved in 6 years, and what I'm looking at, what you've achieved in 6 years. So you've met your missus, you've become a dad, you've had 8 boxing fights, you've climbed a fucking mountain, and that is things within. Well, if we look, and that's from 2019 onwards, so that's 4 years. And I think what you've achieved in 4 years.
I'll get married this year and all. It's non-stop, isn't it?
Well, good luck.
Yeah, good luck, mate. Yeah, that's my sex life gone.
No,
sorry, Paige.
but honestly, Matt, I wish you all the best in life.
Thank you very much, mate.
And we'll stay in touch. And I can't wait to see you grow. And next time we meet, I'm sure we're going to do this again down the line. And yeah, from me, thank you. And like I say, mate, you are an inspiration.
Thanks, mate. Can I just say one more thing?
Do it.
Stay strong, stay motivated, and stay united.
There you go.